welcome back everyone, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OST as we returned. We returned here with the semifinals of PiGosaur Cup number 66. We just wrapped up with Purcell versus Lemon, and it was a bit of a more one-sided best of 5. Purcell, again, he was looking very comfortable against Lemon, very comfortable, despite even the perceived safer builds that that Lemon was going for. He was having a bit of a harder time keeping up with the drop play, with the aggression, and with the movement of our Terran player. And we'll see if that kind of dynamic changes here, as we're going to be getting to our upper semis at ByuN versus Cham. ByuN, of course, coming in as the heavy favorite to win the entire tournament. We'll see if Cham can hold his own. Cham has been looking like a beast in certain matchups, specifically in ZvT. He has been looking a little bit more dominant, but against Terran, Cham, he does have a different approach. Has a more unique style, I should say. It's very dark-esque. What by that I mean, very roach heavy. We typically often see a lot of roach openers, or a lot of roach play, a lot of roach all-ins out of Cham in TVZ, and even intermixing and intersplicing some swarm host play as well. We'll get there. But now, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Mexican Zerg player. We have the red Zerg for ZvT Esports. It is Cham. El Chamaco. Let's go. Let us go. And again, when it comes to Cham's ZvT, we have been casting a lot of Cham versus Special as of late. Shout out to Enki. Enki has been hosting a lot of LATAM show matches, a lot of best of 9s between Cham and Special, and they have been going back and forth. They've been trading. I think last time that a best of 9, they went all the way to game 9. They went all the way to the ace match, and we often did see a lot of diverse play out of Cham. But once again, it's always, or almost always, very roach heavy, like roach base all-ins, roach base builds, roach base mid-game in towards like lurker tech or in towards muta play as well. We'll see if he does embrace Ling main at some point in this series. Let's go. Likewise, ByuN going for a standard opener. He has been known, especially back once again in recent times, to go for 2 Rax Reaper, but here is going for a Rax Expand. Welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. I believe the shortest rush distance out of any map in the current map pool. So you can be very aggressive in the mid game, you can be very assertive, and this goes both ways. Whether it's roach play, whether it's these bio pushes and bio timings, we'll see who's going to be the aggressor. Wait the return of Robo Light. Oh no. I mean, we're expecting like a leaner broadcast schedule towards the end of April. Like April is one of those months where we still have a lot of catching up to do. And I know that GSL is starting up at the end of the month as well. So that's gonna be, filling up our schedule once again once we start covering GSL. But likewise, RSL is wrapping up this weekend, so hopefully we should have a little bit more free time. We can actually sleep. Maybe. Maybe. But now, standard open out of our Terran player. Cham back at home, going for his own third. Reaper breaks in. Dancing with the army. Just ensuring that there's no shenanigans going on. Speaking of, we do have 100 gas, but no link speed yet. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're holding off on link speed. Reaper takes down one Zergling. And does barely get away. At this point, we're going to be going for roaches, right? Either a fast lair or a faster roach warren. No, does start link speed. Okay, quite later. The link speed does begin. From here again, we are opening up. ByuN does confirm the location of the third. Chammy does not pull back into gas. And now we're just saturating. Oh, meanwhile, hello, ByuN, as ByuN is being hyper aggressive, going for a straight up 1-1-1. This is a rare sight. It's a rare sight. It's very common to go for a third TC, but there's no third expansion. Faster Banshee play, faster aggression, faster stim as well. This can also potentially lead into something more assertive here in towards, say, like an armory or something more aggressive. I mean, regardless, this is an aggressive build here by ByuN. We'll see if Cham can keep up. As Hellion production does continue. Stim is on the way. Get an early cloak, early stim. Late CC, if any at all. And ByuN does go for the dive. Ooh. Yeah, it does go by the Lings. Does get caught out, and ByuN, he shouldn't get into the mineral line. Yeah, 2 more volleys go off. Trades against the Zerglings, but drones will survive. He gets 1 more volley. 1 drone. 1 drone goes down. Just the 1. Behind this, we're still continuing Hellions. And there's a 3rd CC. Again, a late 3rd base here for ByuN. The overload does confirm the 3rd base timing, so Cham is now aware that it was a faster 1-1-1 setup. Does see the late 3rd. Lair is on the way. So far, the Banshee is deflected. And the pressure's on ByuN. Again, ByuN, he's hindering his own economy to go for these earlier timings. So the pressure's on ByuN. Hellies, they dive into the natural. They get they get 2 more drones. Still not quite worth it. Again, ByuN throwing away all of his Hellions. And he's going to have a shakier mid-game as a result. Oh. Spoke too soon. Okay. Catching out some drones. And transferring workers getting caught. So 5 drones go down. Not bad. As 2 Banshees, they can one-shot workers. They can even go for the Queen. Yeah, no chance to use. Queen goes down. Okay, Queen getting another drone. Not a bad follow-up. And again, very necessary damage here for ByuN. So he does find more damage. Also scouts the Hydra den. Does confirm. It looks like it is going to be a heavy commitment into Hydras. No +1 melee, actually. Yeah, late Baneling Nest, early Hydra den. Interesting setup. Does lose one of the Banshees. He's gonna commit. Yeah, it does commit in. Does get another Queen. Oh, clutch transfuse. Clutch transfuse. But this feels very Solar-esque. I mentioned earlier that Solar and Shin, they've been embracing this like these Hydra-based all-ins. But no, we're taking it a little bit harder. Fast Infestation Pits here at under 7 minutes at 6:30. With a fast pit, I'm curious. Fast high, fast ultras? Sorry, I meant to say lurkers. Is the goal here lurker tech? What's the plan? Technically, we could go Hydra Infestor, which would be safer, for sure. Just because there are no Banelings. There's no splash damage, just now going for a delayed Baneling Nest. Show us what you got. The pit is now done. We're waiting for either Infestors or the Hive. Marines are being active. So far as an Iron Creep, we have the answer. It is going to be safety Infestors. This will keep Cham secure. But again, a very Hydra heavy style. Very Hydra heavy. If you recall earlier, I was talking about how very often we see Cham embrace roaches, but here it's still not Ling Bane, but it is very heavy Hydra play. Interesting variation. We'll see if it works out. So I'm still not entirely convinced. Once again, we're heavily reliant on those fungals. So tanks are in position. ByuN catching out 2 of those Hydras. That fungal does land. Yeah, massive fungal. Yeah, the Marines get caught out. Chain fungal here on the biome. And with that Cham, he should get into the first tank. Gets 1. 1 tank goes down, 2nd tank as well. Cham holds. Whew. Cham does hold on. We spoke about it again. He was heavily reliant on those fungals. Landed a massive fungal. And we'll see if we can do it again. 2 more Infestors on the way. Banshee still being annoying. Hive has now begun. Cham is making a game out of this. ByuN losing a lot of momentum, getting his own 4 CC, and the game is looking to slow down a little bit here. The initial 4-base setup is quite secure. Your bases are very close together. ByuN is going for a split push. Double drop into the main. Move out on the right-hand side. Cham is trying to keep up. Marines are getting to the mineral line. Going for the hive itself. Ooh, that's a little bit greedy. Yeah, that is greedy. Bases don't quite connect. Cham, he defends his main. He keeps up the Marines. So far, Cham is keeping up. Cham is maxed out. Maxed out with Link Bane Hydra Army, not bad. And can he break ByuN? Zoning back the drones. Does a nice mining. Once again, Cham has those 3 infestors. He's ready for the fungals. Coming in for the surround. Nice setup. A little bit lopsided, but he should clean up. Yeah, should clean this up here. Fungals they land. Not many Marines. Tanks will all fall. Yeah, there's no saving this, no saving the army. Medevacs. Oh no! The medevacs, they go through the army. Losing every single medevac. Cham gains momentum. This is dropping to the main. This does distract. Cham is racing back home to defend. Yeah, races all the way back here. Drones are going to be going down. Nice damage here by ByuN. But ByuN did take some massive losses. He lost everything, Pappy. Cham is doing it. The one thing keeping it back here is this one drop. And now he can move out. His hive is done. No Vipers yet, so we're lacking Vipers. Without them, it is going to be difficult to push in. But ByuN is coming to Cham. Where are we going? Oh no, we're misrallying. Yeah, at this point we're misrallying. Get out of here, Pappy. Get out of here. He wants the tank. The punish. Free tank here for Cham. Drop goes back in. Oh, that was an F2. Yeah, that was a bit of an F2. ByuN panicking. Yo, we gotta fix our rally. We gotta fix the factory rally, Pappy. Yeah. Yeah, you can see it here. There we go. Does fix it. Brings it back. You have double Spire on the way for Cham. A bold move. That should be for Greater Spire and for Broodlords. ByuN is being active. Cham trying to tech up. I would say at this point it's on Cham to be aggressive here. He's kind of resting on his laurels. Yes, Cham is building up a bank, but ideally with Link Bane Hydra, you want to trade. You want to attempt to break the 4th base. Make use of that bank in some way. Instead, he's taking a slower approach. And this will give ByuN the opportunity to recover. Oh. Yes, Cham does commit in. At least he tries to. Gonna be zoned away. Getting his own 5th base up and running. This is going to be a big power spike here for ByuN, and this is where I have to be a little bit critical of Cham. As we mentioned before, Cham, he's been maxed for quite some time. He's building up this bank. I don't think he's doing enough with this, though. We need to be stopping the 5th at least. Drop into the main. Finding some damage. They make collapsing in. Fungal does land on a ghost, not bad. One ghost goes down. Dropping the main is cleaned up. And we need to start trading. Again, we got a, what, a 4K 2K bank? Sorry, 4K 3K. If we don't stop ByuN now, then ByuN will outscale the Zerg. We will start to outscale Cham. Sensor towers being thrown down. A 6th base being taken. Ay, ay, ay. It looks like Cham wants to wait until Broodlords. I mean, the problem here is that ByuN is already blindly making Thors. Like, we already have Thors on the way, more Ghosts on the way, Vikings as well. Like, ByuN, he has an anti-Broodlord army. He already has it. Cham, he needs to free up supply. He just made 14 Corruptors, but he can't make Broodlords. Cham, we gotta trade. We gotta trade. Does he have a tank? Catching a tank, taking down bottom left. My guys pushing on the right hand side. I mean, finally we're moving in. Ooh, the Hydra's A rally into the army. And here come the Broods. Here we go, 14 Broodlords. Now, I'm not entirely convinced by this move just because it's been so long. There are how many? There are 6 Vikings, 3 Thors, 11 Ghosts. It's a very high Ghost count. Broodlords are moving in. At this point, it might be wise to just give away some of the Link Bane and build up a higher Infestor count. As I believe there's only 3 Infestors. So the biggest issue with what's happening here is that Cham never took the center expansions. The reality is that even though Cham has a bank, technically he has a worse economy. ByuN is on 6 bases, and I'm referring to this base. I'm referring to center right and center left. These bases are untouched. Ideally, Cham would have taken these, you know, a couple of minutes ago, and we would be prioritizing these bases, would be prioritizing taking away these resources, because he didn't. Eventually, the Terran can take them. Eventually, ByuN can take those bases, and he will maintain a greater economy. These bases, if the Zerg doesn't take them, they will eventually belong to the Terran. In a longer later game. Cham rotating down. Does nice some mining. Spores are setting up. Vikings overextend. Missing 1 Viking. Yeah, these bases are still untouched. Spores moving forward. How many Infestors? Still only 4. I'm still not convinced by the low Infestor count. A lot of this comes down to the Fungals. And if an EMP lands, I mean, that's going to be the end of this army. Speaking of Jesus. EMP does catch the Queens. But there's still a couple of Fungals. It is 14 Broodlords in total. You're on decent power bomb. Does split. Splits the army, link main towards the planetary. Planetary should go down. And will. ByuN scans. He sees no expansion here in center right. He should be feeling good about this. Cham's moving in. Let's get 2 tanks. ByuN taken to the skies. Setting up more liberation. Catching out a Viking. Sorry, catching out a Broodlord. Broodlord goes down, tanks one of the Fungals. And ByuN, he can start pushing. He can start moving out. For now, taking it slow. Still securing his 6th base. Oh, Ghost on a mission. Bold move. So do we pull back? Cham now takes the center base. This is very late. Very late. Broodlords are exposing themselves. ByuN pushing on the right hand side. Liberator set up. Nice snipes. And catching more corruptors. Center base will full. There's a kill and a cancel. These center bases are still up for grabs. Oh, we're just pushing. Yeah, it takes down top right. It's going for the nuke as well. Oh no! Thankfully does notice. As that will do friendly fire. Okay, pulls away. Does graze the Vikings. Another expansion goes down. Oof. A bit of a trade, a little bit back and forth here, but this was worth it for ByuN. Boosting back home. More Broodlords on the way. Getting up to 18 Broodlords. Am I crazy? Neural was not researched, so that's a little bit concerning. No Neural. Thor is going to be a bigger issue. Fungal does end on the Thors. Okay, we get the Chain Fungals. Yeah, Chain Fungals, they may going to be rolling in. Ghosts are coming in to reinforce. Yeah, the main army's rotating over. ByuN, he will hold. It does bleed out 5 Thors. Cham, he now does get Sentinel left up and running. That's gross. Oh, crazy. Calm down. Guess we gotta calm down. Hazard is just the one overseer. That is a little bit concerning. Do have a couple of spores in the mix. Referring to detection, referring to quote ghosts, just in case. We have seen that before. The Viking count is actually quite low, surprisingly. There's only 2 Vikings. So lower Viking counts are heavier Thor count instead. And more ghosts. AP lands. Still more Fungals. The Fungals coming in, no major connections, going for the Blinding Clouds, and Thors, they hold their own. Yeah, Thors, they hold their own, they shut down the ground army. Ooh, Snipes, they punish the Broodlords. And ICMP. ICMP as well, we're down to how many? Down to 12. 12 Broodlords left. More Snipes, oh my god, down to 10. 9. Yeah, 9, 8, the Broodlords, they just get bullied. The Ghosts, they pop up. And ByuN can just keep pushing. He can just keep on pushing. He should take down this expansion. Cham, he doesn't really have a standing army. He has 10 more Broodlords on the way. 10 more broods. There comes ByuN. And that bank that Cham once had, not anymore. Cham is burning through that bank. Broodlords are expensive, man. Now moving in, 18. Let's go to 18 broods. Does get the first tank. ByuN does kite back. So far decent kiting. Infestors being thrown away. Ooh, the Infestors are on a move. They're going to be losing all 5. Fungal does land towards the end though. Does he get on top of the Ghost? He's trying. Yeah, Ghost they barely do pull back. Yeah, just barely they get away. And the Broodlords are pushing in. Yeah, Broodlords are pushing further in. Now there's no more Thors. Ghost Cloak is activated. Catching out a Broodlord. Down to 11. Down to 11 Broodlords. No anti-air. There we go. We have some Hydras. Once again, center right goes down. ByuN pulling back. I see the chat. Do you think these PvZ and TvZ metas where you play to start at the Zerg are an issue? If you're referring to this game specifically, if you weren't here for the start of it, this is on Cham. I don't know if you remember, but Cham, he was up like 30 or 40 supply in this game. Did you remember? There was a massive moment. It was like 15 minutes ago. It was 15 minutes ago, but Cham had an amazing moment where he surrounded the entire army. He reset the tank count. He reset the bio count. He caught all the medevacs as well. Like, it was like the best case scenario. And we were being critical of Cham. Cham, he maxed. He had 200 supply against the 160, and Cham did nothing. Cham, he chose to just stay back and slowly take his bases, go double spire, double upgrades. Like, Cham, he chose not to rest his advantage here for this game. So he did allow ByuN to build up. Cham also didn't deny the 5th, if you recall. We spoke about that big moment when ByuN was getting a 5th base and Cham did not attack in. Cham was also late to take these center expansions. We were also critical of that as well. So it's been a very shaky mid to late game here for Cham, and it has allowed for ByuN to kind of like recover and build back up. And I will say that ByuN has been taking these better fights for the majority here of the late game. Obviously we still have a big chance here with Mass Broodlord. We have one good fight in it for Cham, for sure. There's one good fight here, but I'm concerned because ByuN now takes center right. That's a fresh base. that's a fresh expansion from ByuN. Does get a fresh base. Not like this. Broodlords are moving in. It does come into the siege line. Yeah, it goes second kite back. And the Broodlords are exposed. Yeah, Broodlords are exposed. We have the mass snipes coming in. The snipes! Oh my god. Yeah, snipes they pop up. We need more fungals. Infested, they cannot get close. Yeah, they cannot get close. Better fight here for ByuN. ByuN, he just bullies the army. Snipes are coming in. Oh my god, mass EMP. We do get decent fungal. Decent fungal. But the fungal is not good enough. Science through to be too much. We're down to 5 Broodlords. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Cham, he had an amazing early to mid game, winding it back. Remember, as I was mentioning for and here for it, Cham, he got a 360 surround. He got a 360 surround on ByuN. He caught all the tanks, he caught all the medevacs, he caught the entire ByuN army as well. Like, Cham had an amazing engage. And again, he just chilled. He just rested on his laurels. He didn't attack. He didn't push. He was maxed out. He just slowly expanded, slowly teched up, and that allowed ByuN to recover in that game. There were a couple of other key moments, a couple of big key moments from ByuN that we spoke on. It was when ByuN took his 5th and when ByuN took his 6th. When those 2 expansions were being taken, Cham also didn't apply pressure. He didn't apply pressure, didn't push in. He did threaten the 6th expansion specifically. He killed it twice, I want to say, with Lingbane. But at the same time, like, it was also very late when he decided to be aggressive in such a manner. So yeah, Cham, he was overly passive this game. After having some really good moments, like after having some really good fights, just kind of chilled, calmed down, and ByuN was able to build up and recover from there as well. As you mentioned, at no point did Cham have the better economy. What I mean by that is that Cham, he never took the center expansions, or it took him a very long time to do so, which meant that we had more or less an even base count. And those bases, they were always up for grabs, and eventually ByuN even took one himself. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does take lead in the series, and we're loading the game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. Catching up. Why do you suppose he did nothing? I would probably say it's a confidence thing, because even if he didn't realize how much damage he had dealt, like, that's a hard thing to believe. But he got maxed, right? He got maxed out with 200 supply, especially with the Lingbane Hydra army. It's a relatively cheap army. You want to be trading it, right? That's an army built to trade. That's not an army you want to be stuck on. So yeah, I would probably say confidence more than anything. You know, maybe he didn't feel confident pushing into the... I don't blame him for not pushing into the 4th. I'm not talking about the 4th base, but specifically for the 5th expansion. Yeah, I would probably say maybe lack of confidence. Being aggressive against ByuN. Like, again, ByuN on paper is favorite, right? Like, he straight up, like, ByuN, he is one of the best players in the world. You know, he's a world champion from many years ago as well. So I would assume it's more of a confidence thing more than anything. That's my assumption. But here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself representing ZvT. It is Cham. I think an example of that, actually, maybe a better example, is Cyril. Cyril, he was interviewed like a week ago, or I should say, Cyril's interview with the SC Historian came out around a week ago, and Cyril, he spoke about that. He spoke about how there are times where he plays against someone and they play worse than they usually do, and that's partially because it's Cyril, right? Like the reality is that Cyril, you know, he has this, I was gonna say like an aura about him, but like the reality is like Cyril, he's straight up like one of the best, if not the best player in the world. So whenever players play against him, like, he at times does notice like certain mistakes being made or certain weird decisions being made that he sees that they don't do against other players or other opponents, and that's partially just because of like notoriety, right? That's partially because of being aware of the kind of player that you're up against, and being aware that you know, things are working against you as a result of that, and that can also be a factor. There we go. But yeah, Cyril, he spoke about that recently. I do recommend it. If you missed out on it, the SC Historian, he did have an interview with Cyril at Home Story Cup, which was at the start of the year. Had a brief discussion regarding that sort of thing. Cham is definitely an underdog. Yeah, underdog. Yes. He is an underdog here. He's a good player. For sure. And again, like, I can see him even winning game 1. Like, he was for sure in a stronger position initially. Haven't watched this game. Just seems like a common occurrence in ZvX games. Kind of. Like, that might also be like your own internal biases when it comes to your perception of games. I will say that that kind of split map scenario that we just experienced in game 1, that is not common, right? Like, that is, I don't expect to see that kind of situation again in this series. It's a best of 5. We might get there again. True, it's possible we might get there again. But often we do see a lot of like mid-game aggression, a lot of games ending in the mid-game instead. I think an example of a more recent example where we have seen a lot of that is Maru's games in, was it RSL? No. It was the tournament that he played against Rainer on. It was I think it was Thunderfire. I think it was either Thunderfire or Rongi Cup. I think it was Rongi Cup. There was a lot of turtle play out of Maru there, that is true. But like outside of that, like typically the games are not really ending in that kind of situation. It's not common to be in that kind of split map scenario. I say biases because I would assume that games like that stay in your mind. I would like that's often the case, right? Like more negative experiences and more negative aspects, they persist in your mind a lot more than like positive experiences for whatever reason. Like that's often the case, unfortunately. So that can also like kind of like affect your perception of like the meta or of how games are occurring. Here it is going to be lair first. I think that was a 410-ish lair timing. So earlier lair out of Cham. But to touch on the question itself, I don't think it's common. I do think that it is an issue, but because it isn't as common, I don't think it's too much of an issue, if that makes sense. A lot of it comes down to maps, right? There are certain maps that are easier to defend on. A map like this, for example, Welcome to White Rabbits, and we try to emphasize this whenever we cover these maps. This map is very large, it's very wide, and the distance between these bases is very long. What I mean by that, so if you look at the third base here, as the Banshee attempts to harass, we have our linear third base, we have our forward fourth base, and we have the triangular third. There's a lot of distance in between these bases compared to the map we just had. Spire play, by the way. So now we see fast lair into fast spire. 2 base or 3 base muta here from Cham. But on 10,000 feet, because 10,000 feet's map is so small, the way that they make up for the small map is that they actually keep the bases a little bit closer together to make it easier to defend. Here on White Rabbit, they're more spread out. It is more difficult to defend on this map. So if ByuN were to attempt a turtle, it would be more difficult to pull that off. That's kind of like to counterbalance that, I should say. But there are certain maps where it's easier to turtle on, like Winter Madness, that's it. Like Winter Madness, Celestial Enclave, true. Celestial Enclave, Winter Madness. Those are the two that come to mind. And I suppose 10,000 feet. But here we go. Spire is on the way, so we're going into meter play, checking ByuN's vision. The Banshee didn't get in. The Banshee did not get further into the main base, so lack of vision, lack of scouting. Banshee did see extra gases, 4 gases being taken, but that isn't the biggest of tells.
Under attack.
Only saw 4 gases. Hellions are poking in. They're poking forward. Again, so far, ByuN is not aware. He's building up his bio back at home, and the mutas are coming. The mutas are coming. And we'll see what kind of damage Cham can get done. Banshees, they make their way into the main. They will eventually confirm. Mutas, they're banking up here at the natural. Banshees, they reveal themselves, and they do barely not scouts. Yeah, barely not. They pick in, 5 drone kills, nice damage. ByuN is pushing. Cham is in a bit of trouble here. Bearing in mind there's no banelings. There's no banelings. These are going to be 0-0 lings with a couple of mutas. Bio Army does him in. He's got the better upgrades. And this might just kill, to be honest. We have the Hellbats. Decent surround on lings. Yeah, decent surround. Marines, they do fight. They do kite back. And they're going for the mutas. Yeah, they go for the mutas here. 1, 2 mutas going down. With enough ling reinforcements that Cham should hold. Nice kiting here by ByuN. And it does kite well, but the Marines are all going to be cleaned up. And Cham barely holds on. Whew. Cham does hold. Did cost him 9 drones. 9 drones went down. Cham, he does counterattack. Back at home, ByuN has time to react. Turrets are on the way. We have plenty of reinforcements, and ByuN, he should hold. He should hold on. And Cham's in trouble. Again, the biggest issue when you go into mass media like this is that you need to gain map control to keep the Terran army back at home. The problem with not doing so is your lack of upgrades, right? 0-0 Ling Bane. Oh. They do force ByuN to turn around for a moment. ByuN, he attempts to intercept. Banelings are morphing in. Baneling speed is done. And here comes the second wave. Tank siege. Banelings, they don't quite connect, but nice pick up here on the tank. And Cham holds. Ooh. Yeah, Cham does hold. Catching at the bio. Collapsing on the Marines. And the Banelings are rolling in. He commits. He's all in. At this point, Cham is all in. He's not droning. He's just committing. Breaks through the bio army. And can he get into the mineral lines? Yeah, he can. He can. At this point, he's done it. He has done it. We have one Widowmine shot going off. Ooh, does connect, but nothing else left. We just came with the production, and Cham, he has done it. He has broken through. And despite struggling in game one, here he overwhelms. He does overwhelm. 3 Marines left. We're still rallying across the map. Down to 0 Marines. The contamination as well. Let's go. Contaminates the factory, and with that, we have a series. We have a back and forth. Boys are being pulled. Massive Baneling connections. And we will have a series here. As we're coping a little bit. We have 4 Marines. We have a bunch of medevacs. Boys are being pulled. A bit of hopium. A bit of copium. As that's going to be 37 SCV kills. GG gets called. And Cham, he does have the series. We're going to game number 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, the mutas were unscouted. I don't blame Cham for pushing. Sorry, I don't blame ByuN for pushing, for moving out. He didn't have a bad trade, but the second push, that was brutal. To have the second move out and to get the first tank caught on siege, to be able to fail to get a shot off, of course, to be caught out in the open, that was a big moment in favor of Cham, where he was able to catch out the army and just snowball out of control from there. GG. GG, well played. A very risky maneuver going into the mutas, and it did barely pay off. And with that, we have a series. We have a series. I can still see a world where this could just be a 2-0 in favor of Cham. Like, I'm still thinking about game 1. But here we go. We're loading into game number 3. Going to be loading into Tourmaline. Ooh, one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify, getting caught out by the mutas in the last game. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. We have the Mexican Zerg representing ZvT. It is Cham. Here we go. Whew. And welcome to Tourmaline. Welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a smaller map in the map pool, a very aggressive map as well. As opposed to some of the other maps, it has a very open third. As you can see here, a very open third expansion, open even further if you can knock down these rocks. And likewise, the area in between the natural and third base is also very open as well. So we have some very open entrances here. As a result, we often do see a lot of all-ins. It goes both ways. We see a lot of roach all-ins on this map. We see a lot of 2-base or even heavy stim timings as well on Tourmaline. But first things first, Cham, every game so far, he has gone for an earlier lair. In game 1, he went for an earlier lair into earlier Hydra production. In game 2, he went early lair into early Spire. So we have seen these lair first builds. Game 1 and game 2. We'll see if Cham does it again here in game 3. He's catching up in the chat. Gotta be aggressive. See, papi, see. Be aggressive. Be confident, papi. Be confident. Yeah. But again, Cham did double down last game. He just sent it across the map. So now we are going to be slowing things down. Again, so far, standard open out of ByuN. Last game, there wasn't anything too fancy either. Just going for the third TC into his 1-1-1 into Banshee play. Once again, ByuN, he did fail to scout the main. Did fail to scout the Spire, of course. His response to the muta play was to be hyper aggressive, and did end up hurting ByuN when it came to that second push. But here we go. does poke in. So far, dance with the army. Getting one, soon to be two. And one link kill so far. Link speed is on the way. Cham, he does pull out of gas. So far, so good. And ByuN is going for his third CC before Starport. If you recall, in game 1, ByuN did go for a straight-up 1-1-1. He went for a much more aggressive build. This time, more economic. As your Overlord Scout is going to be denied. This may come into play. As we see ByuN going for the Tech Lab, no Starport. Going into earlier stim. Do we see an armory here? Yeah, very early stim, no Starport in sight, no Medivacs. Of course, no Banshee play. Waiting for an armory. At the same time, Cham does go for an early Roach Warren. Okay. So this is what we've been waiting for. I mentioned at the very beginning of the broadcast, of this series, I should say, that Cham is known for his Roach play. We do have the Roach Warren early on here for Cham. Gases are being taken, and we spoke about this at the start of this game, how Roach All-ins are common on Tourmaline. They are more common. Do have a 3-1-1 setup here from ByuN. Because of this build, what does this mean? No Banshees. There won't be a Starport, it will be delayed, and that means no Banshee play early on. Even going for the eBay, it's going to be much more biocentric. Roach All-ins can work better here against what ByuN is going for, as ByuN is being quite greedy. So Hellion's going to be zoned away, Roach Warren is unscouted, Roaches are amassing as we speak, and it's going to be Marine Hellion to defend. Again, no Banshees, and ByuN has no idea what's going on. ByuN he's vulnerable, he's scared, I mean he's exposed. ByuN is exposed. We have 11 Roaches on the way. There's no scan in the main base, there's no dive with the Hellions. ByuN is playing blind. Lings, they zone him away. Getting a Hellion, not bad. And here comes the all-in. Here comes the all-in, baby. Cham, he just rushes across the map. There's no safety bunker because, again, ByuN sees nothing. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that he's in danger. He doesn't know what's coming. And even now, the Hellion only sees the Lings. Roaches will soon be revealed.
Research complete.
Ravager's morphing in as well. Stim will be done, but that's not going to be enough. No shot. Yeah, now he knows. The all-in has arrived. Cham, he commits, and we got to pull the boys. Even then, it's going to be tough. Cham playing it slow, holding onto those Zerglings. Deeper's going down, supply blocking ByuN. Boys are being pulled. Again, ByuN, he has to. Alzay zone away. ByuN buying some time. Does try to buy some time here. Medevac production has begun. Balze do not quite connect. He commits in. And so far, the mineral line is going to go down. Yeah, the mineral line will fall. Marines are trying to hold their own. Trying to get on top of the Ravagers. Cham, he's breaking through. He's breaking through. 24 SCV kills, critical damage. And this is already enough, right? This is already enough here. Cham, he's done enough. Kiting back. Picking up more Marines. Balze, oh, catch one more SCV. And we're just flooding. We're just link flooding from here. And ByuN, he's scored down. Again, the pants were down, baby. The pants were down. ByuN, he never scouted the main base. He never scouted the natural. He didn't see what was coming his way. He was being greedy himself. He delayed his own Starports. Borderline build order win here for Cham. Essentially build order win, really. I mean, I say that, like, technically there was the opportunity for ByuN to scout, and then he could adjust. Like, imagine this game here with 2 bunkers, right? With 2 bunkers and with some SimCity. If ByuN had only known. If he had only known. CC does catch fire. Now, this is getting a little bit scary. Bearing in mind that we do have 3 CCs here for ByuN. He kind of makes 3 SCVs at a time. He has mules. And Shammy is not droned. Like, he's still very all in. There we go. Now he starts droning. Now he starts droning up. Does force his way off the ramp. No, the Biles! Biles connect. brutal connections. Cham, just keep going. But the tank is out. Yeah, the tank has arrived. And with that, ByuN, he's stuck on a 1-base economy. He's stuck on 1 base. Overlord can provide some high ground vision. Ooh, looks like ByuN wants to move down to low ground. He's moving down. Cham can fight. Ooh, yeah, a bit of miscontrol here. It does lose 2 Ravagers. Does lose 2. Behind this, Cham is droning. We should be seeing a lair soon. Okay, sorry, we already have one. So here's droning, saturating. There it is, double upgrades on the way. And Cham, he can just get further ahead. Getting road speed, 1-1, 3-base saturation. Cham, we just gotta calm down. Now, as I mentioned before, ByuN does have 3 orbitals, so he can replenish these workers quite quickly. You also have mules available as well. He's going for his drop play. It's on Cham to minimize losses. You gotta keep up with the drops, minimize losses, defend the 4th, the 3rd, the main. The army does race back. And anti-air is quite limited here for Cham. It's very limited. He has a handful of queens. Sims in. Sims in, gets a Ravager, gets 1. Catching a queen as well. We can see, yeah, Cham is in position, he's in the main. Again, would it be wise to just leave units in every single base? As ByuN is pushing. He's committing. Okay, drop into the 3rd. Getting 1, getting 2. I just 1. Catching out 1 drone. ByuN is distracting. So far, Cham is keeping up. Yeah, defends against both drops. Not bad. And Cham is built up into a 3-base economy. From here, I wouldn't be opposed to a Spire. Though, as these drops are getting a bit out of hand. Yeah, 6 drones. Again, ByuN is being so annoying. I do like this counter attack though. Can pick up the depots. Drop goes back in. 9 drones. Now into the main. And again, roaches have a very hard time keeping up with this. These are 9 workers. ByuN is supply blocked. Depots did go down. And Cham is maxed. Cham is maxing out. There we go. Now we get the Spire. Now we get the Fixation Pits. This drop is getting out of hand. Yeah, getting a queen, getting a couple of drones as well. Oof. Yeah, brutal damage here at the 4th. Like, these are nice moves, but at the same time, Cham is maxed, and we should be making use of this army soon. Now, I say soon, we don't have to push in. Turret's on the way. Do we scan? Does he notice? ByuN, does he notice? He does not. He gets in. Gets on top of the army. Oh, where's the unburrow? Army doesn't siege. Roaches, they get into the main. Okay, never mind. Gets into main base. There we go. He gets noticed. ByuN turns back around. SCV's going to be falling. And that's going to be with it when it comes to the economy. There's nothing left at 21 SCV kills. Going for the upgrades. 9+2. At least trying to. forcing out a scan, and GG gets called. Cham, he'll take a 2-1 lead in the series. Whew, GG. GG, well played. He will take a lead. As again, Cham, he does fight back here. Very cheeky build here by Cham, going for the Roach all-in here on Tourmaline. As we mentioned, all-ins do hit even harder on this map because of the rush distance, but on top of that, ByuN didn't scout. And also, ByuN went for a very greedy build. ByuN, he went 3 CC, 3 max setup into double E-base, double upgrades, late starport, late Banshee play, which means late vision, late scouting. The Hellion count was very low. He didn't try to push into the natural, didn't scan the main base either. He had no idea that it was just a pure all-in. In there from Cham. 2 base all in with 3 hatcheries just for larva. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he was caught with his pants down, and now we're loading into game number 4. And can Cham close it out? There's a world where Cham could have 3-0'd. Cham could have 3-0'd. But regardless, we're getting into Winter Madness, and we'll see if ByuN can recover. We'll see if Cham can close it out. As we're loading into a much larger map this time. Much larger map in the map pool. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the Mexican Zerg representing ZvT. It is Cham. Whew, here we go. We are loading into a much larger map of the map pool. Larger map, a longer rush distance by ground, a much more defendable 3 and 4 bases. We did bring this up earlier when the discussion came up regarding more defensive maps and more turtle heavy maps. This is a map where you can turtle up onto 4 and 5 bases much easier on. That is true. So we could embrace a longer and later game. Because the map is so large, I wouldn't be opposed to muta play. We saw mutas earlier in the series already. We could see it again here. I would be opposed to Roach all-ins. Roach all-ins are much weaker on Winter Madness. So we'll keep an eye on Cham. What do we see this time? Meanwhile, straight up CC first. For the first time this series, CC first out of ByuN, a very greedy play here. But as you mentioned, Winter Madness is known for longer games. You can cut corners, you can be greedy like this, as there's a higher chance to get away with it. So ByuN is cutting corners, Cham is playing standard. Very nice job by Cham's anyway, the early scouting. Yes, if you recall, his lings were being very vigilant when it came to keeping up with the Hellions, ensuring that the Hellions didn't see anything. But it also came down to the build. As you mentioned, like, ByuN was also being very, very greedy with his build. But to be fair, like, if ByuN had scattered with the Hellions, if he had seen it ahead of time, then we would have seen bunkers. 100%. We would have seen bunkers at the natural, or even just a preparation to evacuate the natural and defend the main. But would have been a defensive setup at the natural with bunkers, depots, and it could have led to a different kind of game state. Regardless, now we're settling in. Jesus. As we skip link speed, no link speed. That is a 235 lair timing. Insanely fast lair, by the way. More gases are being taken. Now, with a 235 lair timing, I'm leaning towards 2-base muta, right? This is feeling like 2-base muta. Technically, this could be 2-base Hydra. We have seen Shin go 2-base Hydra with this. We'll see as link speed does begin. Interesting. Getting to link speed, gases being prioritized. Show us what you got. Will it be the Spire? Will it be the Hydra Den? Should be one or the other. But Cham's third base is going to be delayed as a result. So late third base. Did we get CV Scout? Wait, what? No. No SCV Scouts. No Reaper Scout either. Very late scout by ByuN. Yeah, Hellion is checking. Hellion does confirm the lack of third. Something is wrong. ByuN checks the other third location. So this could be a Roach all-in. Could be 2 base Muta, and it is. Spire gets thrown down, so 2 base Muta at the Cham. And ByuN is not fully aware. This could still be Mutas, Roaches, or Hydras. But at least ByuN knows that something is wrong, right? Like, he knows that something is up. That this is not standard. Catching at the Overlord. Going for his own drop early on. Liberator follow-up. Oh, okay, sorry. So this was a CC first into 1-1-1 before starport. Sorry, before third CC. Hyper aggressive. Hyper aggressive here by ByuN. I do like this. ByuN is being very assertive. Does spot the third. And will force a cancel. Denies the third base, dropping into the main. Hellions are ready. Without with the medevac, ByuN, oh, he's still going to be forced back. He's going to be zoned away. Hellions, they go for the dive. Yeah, dives into the natural, gets behind the middle line, and he does scout. He does confirm the Spire this time. He knows. Spire's been scouted. 8 drones going down. Oh my god, crazy damage already. Yeah, 8 drone kills. The Liberator, he does commit. Back at home, we fully wall off. And ByuN is getting ready. Here come the turrets already. So turrets are being thrown down. Lings, they counterattack. ByuN, he does have a full wall. No, actually, sorry, there's a hole. No, never mind. Okay. For a moment, I thought it was a little bit of a gap. But ByuN, he does fully wall off. He is safe. Yeah, ByuN is safe. ByuN is secure. 2 more drones go down. And so far, the Muta play has not been worth it. On the one hand, these Mutas are meant to give at least map control and get some counter damage done, but Cham's third is heavily delayed. Such a late third base, and also lost a bunch of workers. It was 10 drone kills in total. So Cham is in a rough position. He is behind. And Cham, he only makes 4 Mutas. Only 4. We can see Cham is making a switch into Roaches. Switching out of Muta play. +1 range has begun. Second Evo chamber. But it's going to be a messy, it's going to be a shaky mid-game here for Cham. Shaky mid-game. Now Cham, he does have an opportunity here. We can see that he does get up to almost 3 base saturation. He hasn't taken his gases. But Cham, he might actually go for an all-in. He might just go for a 1-1 timing. Considering how far behind Cham is, I do think that's probably the best option. Is to go for an all-in. ByuN is moving out. This time with Widow Mines. Ling Bang does hit the third. Does get in. Ooh, as the SCVs, they will be able to hold their own. At least they try to, never mind. The SCV's going to be going down at the same time. Champion commits in. Yeah, he does steal off the ramp. Catching at the Roaches. Yeah, Roaches are going to be going down. Ooh, Mindshot does force a bit of friendly fire. But Cham, he doesn't have enough. Barely not. Losing Ravagers, losing Roaches. Marines, they stim in. We're down to 3 Roaches. Down to 2. Yeah, such a low Roach count. ByuN, he breaks into the middle line. 3 more drone kills. Back at home, did lose 9 SCVs, but ByuN still has the greater economy. And I believe Cham is going for the all-in. Cham, he lost a couple of workers, and Cham is not redroning. Just pure Roach Ravager. It's going to be all or nothing for Cham. All or nothing. Cham is moving out. Again, he has to win the game with this. Cham, he has 22 Roaches, 4 Ravagers. There is a Bio army here back at home. Bunkers are being thrown down. Good call here by ByuN. Nice mine shot. Nice mine connection. Tank follow going off. Cham working towards Burrow and Tunneling Claws. Bit of a Hail Mary play. He's doing what he can. Still no fourth, and still no more drones. Like, no more drones, no more saturation. It's all or nothing for Cham. Cham is looking for another way in. Rotates to the natural. Now we have 2 tanks in position, 2 bunkers, widow mines, missile turret as well. Oh, Cham is hoping he can burrow, but with the turrets, there's no way in. Oh no. Yeah, he's gonna go for the tunneling claws. He's gonna burrow. There's detection on the high ground. Don't do it. Okay, thankfully it does check with the changelings. Does check. Changelings, they confirm. Cham knows he cannot get in. Forced 1 burrow. And Cham, and now he gets a 4th base. 4th hatchery, another gas geyser. Infestation bit, droning. This is a very late decision by Cham. He now realizes the all-in will fail, but he was so all-in. I mean, that's why it's called an all-in. So late 2-2, late gases, late droning, and late 4th expansion. It's all very late here for Cham. ByuN is outscaling him, and ByuN is maxed. Bearing in mind that Roach Ravager does inflate your supplies, so Cham actually has quite a small army in comparison. Thankfully, ByuN, he doesn't move out with everything. Just a triple drop. Ooh, as he does find some drones. 3-4 drones going down. Here comes the main army. Cham is working on infestors, and that will help. He'll have a couple of fungals. ByuN moving in between the bases. First tank gets called out, it's not bad. Gets 1. Ooh, just the 1 though. Yeah, just the 1. It's ByuN who overwhelms the main, cashing out all the roaches. Pushes towards the 3rd. Fungal does graze the army. Gets another tank. These have been nice pickoffs. But Cham is still hurting. He's still hurting. Not like this. Second Spire is on the way. Roaches, they do come in from behind. Okay, nice flank. Nice burrow. He has to hold on. There it is, as burrow does get 1, 2, 3 tanks, not bad. 3 tanks going down, but Marines, they just stim in. Oh god, the man with gun, he just breaks on through anyway. Stims through the army. Picks up, GG gets called, and ByuN ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We're going to game 5. Again, it was a very shaky start by Cham. Winding it back, Cham, what happened? He went for an early lair. He went for a very early, what was it, 2:35 lair timing into 2-base Muta. Initially, there was no scout, but we saw that ByuN was being hyper-aggressive. He was being hyper-aggressive, and he did confirm the Muta play with his Hellion dive into the mineral line. ByuN, he was able to cripple the economy. He got, what, like 8 to 9 drone kills early on, slowing down his opponent, securing up back at home, and because the Mutas got scouted, Cham had to switch out. He only made 4 Mutas. Only 4 Mutas. He had to switch into Roaches instead. Went for a big Roach all-in, but it was a delayed Roach all-in because of the stifled economy, and ByuN was more than ready. He had bunkers, depots, turrets, set up back at home. GG. GG, well played. Again, this time, ByuN was able to scout, able to confirm, and able to react. And now we're getting into the ace match. Going to be loading into Title Citadel. Let's go. The final game of the series. We'll see if Cham can bring it back here. We'll see if ByuN will close it out. Let's go. At spawning in the upper hand corner of Title Citadel, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player, the Mexican Zerg, representing ZvT. It is Cham. Here we go. And big shout out to JoJo Power Ranger in the chat. God, baby, God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 4 months in a row. Thank you so much, Pappy. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. I was gonna try to make a JoJo's reference, but I don't know enough. Thank you so much. Man. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you. We stand with you. I don't. Here we go. We are going to be settling in. From here, again, Cham has had some very quirky builds. We've been seeing Roach all-ins, Muta play, 2-base Muta as well. Cham has been mixing it up. We'll see what we have for us this time as we are loading into Taito. Taito Citadel is a bit of a larger map in the map pool. The bases are very spread out, similar to White Rabbit, actually. Similar to White Rabbit, but the bases are very spread out. They're very isolated from each other, and it can be difficult to keep up with aggressive builds. Can be difficult. To open up. ByuN has also been mixing up his builds as well. We've been seeing some more aggressive builds here by ByuN. Still no 2-axe Reaper, which is a little bit surprising to me, but we have been seeing a lot of 1/1/1s, a lot of delayed third bases out of ByuN. Has been a little more common out of our Terran. Oh, there you go. Didn't watch a lot of Power Rangers. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Fair enough, fair enough. Gracias, papi, gracias. Gracias, papi, gracias. Yes, I also watched a lot of Power Rangers as a kid. I mean, I say a lot of only the original series. Like, I never... Only the original. I know there was like a recent like 20th, maybe not, it must have been more than 20, but there was like a recent anniversary special that released, like bringing back some of the old cast. The nostalgia, baby, the nostalgia. I appreciated it. Appreciated it. As behind this, ByuN does go for a much more standard opener this time, going for a third CC into Starport. Standard build here by ByuN. Cham gets link speed, and he does pull into gas, but again a little bit later, nowhere near as quickly as last time. Everything is looking normal so far. So far. So here we're building up. So the original Megazord action figure. Oh, let's go. That's sick. That's sick. I never got into the other, like, I never got into like Kamen Rider or like Super Sentai, like before that. Never got into it. I remember I tried rewatching the original Power Rangers movie a couple of years ago, and you know, it doesn't really hit you until rewatching it just how bad some of the CGI was. Like, oh god, it does not hold up, man. It does not hold up. You forget about that when you're a kid. Feels avenues, man. For now that we're settling it. Again, so far it's been pretty standard, pretty tame. I think out of all games so far in this series, like, it's been a very tame start here from both players. Cham is going to be going into Roaches though. True. He's going into Roach play, getting to his double Evo chambers, into a Roach heavy mid game. But there's no signs of an all-in, right? There's no signs of hyper aggression. We're just easing our way into the mid game. ByuN does scout, it does confirm the Roach Warren, does he? So ByuN is aware of the tech. Hellions, they poke in. They poke in. So far, Cham does keep up. Zoning back the Hellions. Does zone them away. We're just kind of poking. Oh, nice catch. Nice around. Catching out of the Hellions. This will actually make the 7-minute push that much weaker. Usually you want to keep and retain those Hellions, and when you move out with your tank timing, you can morph them into Hellbats and have a bit of a stronger push. So nice catch there from Cham. Oh, as he's forced to cancel the 4th base. Less than ideal. And the 4th base should be the target of the main push. Should be. As ByuN is building up. Securing his 3rd, getting his 5-rack setup. Seeing that we have +1 melee and no +1 range on the way, this looks a little bit more indicative of a fast Hive into fast Ultras. If you remember, someone that was playing this style last year was Shin, right? Shin, this was around DreamHack Dallas, going for a Roach opener, skipping Banelings, going Roach into Lings, in towards Ultras instead. That should be the big power spike here for Cham, assuming that's the goal. We'll see. If it's Asian bit, feels like Ultra Tech. Or feels like Hive Tech. As the Bio Army has arrived. We can make a couple of safety infestors. Does get a Ravager, not bad. Ravager goes down. ByuN is deflected. There's the first safety infestor, and there's the Hive. So again, Hive is on the way. With those melee upgrades, we should be working towards +2 in towards said Ultra Cavern. So the big power spike will be those Ultras, or we'll see if Cham can get there. Again, this is a little bit old school. This was very, very prevalent last year, like halfway through last year, leading into EWC. This style did fall off as players became more aggressive, and also as Lingbane became more viable in the latest patch. Bearing in mind the latest patch was, what, last year, October? Is going to be forced back. Does sneak out on the right-hand side. Hive is almost done. Cham, he's almost there. ByuN is poking in. Catching out a couple of Overlords. Supply blocking Cham. Hive is now done. And there's... So the goal here is to get into Ultras, to get into Kindness Plating, and then he can start to be active. Until then, it's all about defending, right? It's all about surviving until Ultras. Can he get there? Latest movie about 10 years ago was bad. It was only Power Rangers for the last 20 minutes of the movie. I haven't watched the newer movie. I did. But yeah. Did hear mixed things about it. No. I don't like this. But yeah, from here, we're just building up. Again, the Ultra Cavern is now done. There's Kindness Plating. We still need a little bit more time. Oh, Cham is maxed out, unfortunately, so he does have to trade. Has to free up supply. As ByuN is gaining ground. I should say that the goal for ByuN should be to break Cham before the Ultras come into play. Like ByuN, he's not ready for Ultra Tech. Cham collapses in. Getting us over the tanks, not bad. Getting 1, 2, 3 tanks. But the Rings, they hold their own. Nice fungal. Very nice fungal. The Banelings, oh my god, catching out the entire army. Very nice trade, and behind this were the Ultras. We need those Ultras. ByuN is forced back. We have 3-3 upgrades. Going for the Spire? No Ultra production yet. And Cham is still lacking gases. ByuN still rallying in. Again, Kindness Plating is finishing, but we have no Ultras taking advantage of that. We need the Ultras back. Cham is still holding on. Still is holding. Remember, behind this, there's no ghost production, for example. I believe ByuN hasn't actually seen the main, so he's not fully aware of as to what's coming his way. Fungal doesn't quite connect. But Cham is gaining map control. Oh, that's way too soon. Never mind. As ByuN moves in. Ooh, does take a bait into the face. Ultras are revealed. And Cham holds. And Cham is holding on. Once again, Cham has no anti-air. 7 corruptors are on the way. Cham is out of position. No, he's out of position. The base, the hatchery goes down. Yeah, ByuN breaks through. Takes down the 5th. Ooh, does pick up in time. And ideally, Cham wants to move out across the map, but back at home, ByuN is getting ready. ByuN has got his planetaries, switching into more marauders. From here, we can try to go into, there we go, at Ghost Academy. Academy's on the way. And ByuN, his goal here is to survive until Ghost. Survive. Meanwhile, Cham is max. He's maxed out. 3-3 is almost done. Catching up the Banshees. Cham, we go to commit. Denies center expansion at least. But we got to keep going further from here. Cham pulls away. I mean, he will avoid the flank. True. Does pull away. More infestors in production. But the longer this goes on, I mean, the more ghosts are amassing. There's 4 ghosts on the way. Yeah, Cham, he's missing his window. Typically, when it comes to this build, like, you have a big power spike with ultras, and then the window does close. That timing, it's running out. And with that, now there's 4, soon to be 7 ghosts. Ay, ay, ay. ByuN is turtled up. He's got his pre-split, his pre-spread. And we've been here before. I'm getting deja vu. Where Cham, he had a certain advantage. He had the tech advantage specifically. But he fails to deny the center base. This is the 5th getting up and running. This should not be happening. But the 5th is up. And Cham is maxed, and he's not really finding any damage with the army. He's building up a bank, that is true. But what's the plan? To what? Tech up into a Greater Spire again and go into Broodlords? As more ghosts are building up, fusion cores on the way. That should be for Liberator range. Should be for mass libs. Knife goes up. Guess an ultra. Ultra goes down. Cham rolling in, going for the planetary. Decent fungal. Planetary does fall. Okay, it's the base. Cham pulls away. Again, not the worst trade here for Cham, and we should be seeing more of this, where we go in, kill a base, and keep rotating, keep doing this. Knocking down expansions. Ensuring that ByuN doesn't get comfortable. But for now, we're backing off. Does pull away, does rotate. It feels like the initial trade here was a little bit too late. Decent fungal. We're gonna keep going. Oh my god. Brutal mind shots. And Brutal minds they connect. Decent fungal here on the main army. Bailey's gonna get into the mineral line, and the planetary looks like it will barely go down. Does fall. Cham pulls away. Is rebuilding with mainly Zergling. It does feel like we do want to go for that air switch. Making more corruptors, but there is no greater spire. There is no spire. Had to kill another cancel. Yeah, he wants to. Yeah, there's a greater spire. So he's thinking about brood lords. Not again, Pappy. Not again. Cham commits in. Oof. Once again, brutal mind shots. Cham does go for the mineral line. Zones away the ghost. Decent trades. Zoning back the army. 14 SCV kills. But doesn't get the expansion. Oof. And ByuN does take the better main army fight. Again, ByuN, he's building up his ghost. He's got 10 ghosts so far. And Cham, he still doesn't have the gold. Still doesn't have the gold expansion. The economy here is still a little bit lackluster. It does have 80 workers, that is true. But doesn't saturate bottom left or top right. Cham tries to find a way in. Go base is denied once again. As again, Cham, we should be seeing rotations. If you look here on the left-hand side, this base is so much more exposed. There's no setup. But Cham is fixated here on the right-hand side. And he's going in once again. Into the minefields, into all these liberators. Making his way through. Does get into the mineral line. Oof, takes down 20 for like 25 SCVs. That's a lot of SCVs. Oh, he does keep chasing though. Does keep chasing. Gets a ghost. And then ghost goes down. Takes down the mineral line. But he overextends. Yeah, Cham, he will lose everything. All the ultras, all the corruptors. Cham has to rebuild. That was an expensive army. And Cham is burning through that bank. He's burning through. And he has no bank. We still have a bunch of gases at least, but no minerals. Again, just now transferring. Still doesn't have the gold. And again, we don't have to push into this. There's what, like 7 liberators sieged up? We can hit the left-hand side instead, man. Go for another expansion. Does come in from behind. He gets in once again. Okay, he's rolling through. Going for the mineral line. Oh, the SCVs are transferring it just in time. Every SCV will fall. And can he cripple the economy? Goes to hold their own against the ultras. Every ultra will fall. Okay, down to 1. Down to 0 ultras. It's going to be 25 more SCV kills. Down to 27 workers. And Cham, now that he has the gold, can he outproduce? Can he outproduce ByuN? Can he keep this going? At a certain point, ByuN will run out of money. Again, ByuN is down to 27 workers. The mules are sustaining him. True. Oh no! Oh, as the gold will not get up. Cham, he needs this gold base. Oh. Gets 2 medevacs. Just the one. Oh my god. Yeah, just the one. Attention does turn to the gold. Cham being forced to engage. Once again, the mine shots are brutal. Oof. And mine shots do connect. No detection. ByuN is rebuilding his economy. Cham is remaxed. Bearing in mind that ByuN does have a super maxed army, he's staying on a low worker count and he's fixated on building up an even greater force. Ooh, does get a fresh mining base though. This should not be happening. Cham, he has to stop this.
Swarm forces under attack.
He's going in. Oof. He's trying to. Morphing in a couple of broodlords. Cham is ready to defend the gold this time. Defends the gold. ByuN, he maxes out. Oh. He does max. So has a planetary. Lings are trickling in, not many bailings. Congo doesn't quite land. Does get around on the planetary at least, but not many SCV kills. Again, it was mainly mule. At the same time, the gold base is denied. Cham is hurting. And Cham is being distracted. He's forced to defend bottom left. Every base on the map is being taken. And defending bottom left means that top right is taken by ByuN. Just a fresh mining base. ByuN now pushing towards top right. This is the most important mining base here for Cham. Cham is falling apart. Losing more bases. Cham going for the backstab. Okay, at least he tries to. Does hit the center expansion. Cashing out some SCVs. And this would mean more if there wasn't already another expansion though. There's already another. Yeah, ByuN is snowballing out of control. You can just give chase. Snipes a broodlord. 2 broods going down. Cham is broke. He's burned through everything. No more minerals, no more gas. No more money. And Cham cannot defend. Cannot defend. Losing more bases. Cham, he's down to, what, a 1 base economy at this point. Okay, saturating his gold. Does need it. Oof. Yes, Cham tries to get it in. Once then takes a massive mind shot to the face. The mine shots. More bases going down. And again, Cham has been falling apart. He's been falling apart for quite some time. He misses window of opportunity. Again, this game was actually very similar to game one. Very, very similar. Where Cham had a lot of potential. He had the stronger start. Not as strong as game one. But Cham, he had no urgency. He had no urgency to kill the fifth. To deny the fifth expansion. To rotate between the fifth base and the fourth base. To deny the sixth. Like, the urgency just wasn't there. ByuN got away with it. We did have a couple of nice fights after the fact for Cham. And he's just been pulled apart. Just been pulled apart. He cannot keep up. Not anymore. I mean, it was a very close, very clutch series. Went all the way here to the ace match. It was very impressive by Cham. Nice fungal. Okay. No follow-up. Barely no follow-up. ByuN does pull away. Drops into the main. Doesn't quite get another ultra, thankfully. Oh no! Does he? I don't know. Yeah, ByuN just ensuring that there's no backup expansions. And Cham, he has one fight in him. He's got one fight. That's all he's got. As Cham can't even max out. Cannot max. If he can land like one strong fungal, then maybe. Maybe. That's what we're hoping for. Cham is built up to soon to be seven Broodlords. ByuN threatening to expand. Let's catch a Liberator. And we just committed. Oh gosh. The Ghost Punish. Drock is being thrown away. There's a fungal, but again, there's no follow-up. Second fungal does land. And Cham's just being bullied. Yeah, just being bullied back here. He cannot engage. Not into all these ghosts. Not like this. Not like this. Oh, nice catch. Takes down, what, 3, 4, 5 ghosts. We get a decent engage towards the end, but only towards the end. Otherwise, ByuN has done it. Breaks the main army. And this is basically all the mining that's left. All the mining here at the gold. And again, Cham wasn't able to deny the 5th base, the 6th expansion, even the 4th as well. Cham was surprisingly passive when it came to the ultra timing. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. With that, the final fight. Oh! He does get a couple of Liberators. Still retains 4 Broodlords. But ByuN is still rallying. Just rallying in. Pushing to the mineral line. Fungal does land, but again, there's just not much of a follow-up. We just tank the Fungals. ByuN he just tanks them. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even care. Yeah, takes on the gold. Now this one we're moving in. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. A very back and forth series, very intense, very impressive play here by Cham. ByuN was the heavy favorite, and Cham, he fought back very hard, forcing the ace match. And again, there's even a world out there where Cham 3-0s. Like, the first game was in favor of Cham for quite some time before losing that lead. Here it was similar. I say similar because we didn't really have as strong of a mid game as we did in game 1, but here in game 5 we saw that Cham, he was able to rush into hive tech, rush into ultras, rush into his upgrades, raids, but he delayed ultra production, and he also, once he had them, delayed any kind of aggression as well. He was staying further back. As a result of that, he did not stop the 5th. He didn't stop the 5th base from being taken. He didn't stop the 6th base from being taken either. There were a couple of nice moments where Cham was able to get like 20 plus SCV kills, committing into the 5th, but that was after the fact. That was much after ByuN had established his economy even harder. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, we have our finalists. Oh boy. We have our grand finals here. It is going to be a best of 5 between ByuN and Percival. The TVT, Pappy, the TVT. Here we go. So just